Hey there, welcome back to the show. We got a real treat in store right now. The first images from NASA's James Webb telescope are absolutely breathtaking. They don't even seem real, but some of us are a little confused about what we're actually looking at. Luckily, we have Seattle astronomer Emily Levesque here to help us break it all down, and it is so good to see you again. Thank you for coming back and in studio.
Yeah, it's great to see you again too.
So let's talk about it. Last time we talked, it was the days before the James Webb launched, and it was a big deal. Astronomers were watching this very, very closely. So you've been following this project for a long time, right?
Yeah, I mean, James Webb has been in the works since the mid-90s, and I think a lot of people have seen it in the news, and they've seen things like, budget overruns or delays, but it's such an amazingly technically complicated telescope that astronomers have just been sort of cheering on every step of the way. We watched it get designed, get built, and then get launched, and now we're finally seeing the very first pictures from it.
I had no idea, and I've read about this extensively, that it had been in the works since the 90s. So this is an incredible accomplishment.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Astronomers dream up these new telescopes years before they're launched, and then we just get so excited to see what they're going to see.
You said it was a complicated telescope. This isn't just something that is shooting out there. Can you kind of describe some of the, I guess, amazing parts of this?
Yeah, I mean, I'm guessing a lot of your viewers are very familiar with the Hubble images that we've been seeing since the early 90s, and James Webb is the sort of next step after Hubble. So there's three things that really make it amazing. First of all, it's huge. Yeah. Hubble's mirror is a little under 8 feet across. James Webb's mirror is more than 21 feet across. So this helps it to see things that are so much dimmer, so much farther away. It's just a completely new perspective on how we study the universe. It also sees very different light. It sees light in the infrared, so much redder than what our eyes can see. But that's perfect for studying things like planets around other stars or very distant galaxies. And that detail of Webb means that it's giving us a different view than we'd have gotten previously. And finally, where it is just amazing because it is 1 million miles away from Earth. That's much farther than our own moon.
Wow.
And it's actually orbiting so that it keeps the Earth between it and the sun. So the telescope stays in perfect darkness. Now, anyone who's stargazed knows that the darker it is, the better. So this telescope is so dark and in such a perfect place for the science it's trying to do.
It can see everything.
Yes.
Let's look at some of the images it has been seeing and taking. I mean, this is unbelievable. What is this? This is called the deep field?
Yes, so this is the famous first image that was released from James Webb. And if you look in the center of the image, you see these sort of fuzzy white blobs. Each one of those fuzzballs is a galaxy that make up a cluster of galaxies, and those are about 4.5 billion light years away. So that's already amazing. But the combined mass of those galaxies is so large that it actually warps space and it bends the light of galaxies behind it. So that light gets brighter. It makes those weird sort of arc shapes. You can see there's one that kind of looks like a pancake. That process of bending the light is called gravitational lensing. And it means that we can magnify and look at galaxies much farther away than even 4.5 billion light years.
Amazing.
Every little blob in that picture is a galaxy. It's incredible.
That is incredible. Okay, this is the Webb spectrum showcasing the galaxy composition.
Yes. So in that picture, you're probably looking at, the big arching galaxies or the little spirals and all those beautiful details you can see. But the things that astronomers get super excited about are the little red blobs in the background. And you can see in that box on the upper left, we zoomed in on one of those little blobs, and we took this type of data called a spectrum. So we take light and we sort it out according to its color. When you do that, you can actually pick up little bright spikes or dips of light being produced by atoms. So we can see signs of hydrogen or oxygen or neon in a galaxy like that.
It says 13.1 billion years, light years?
So we know that light has a speed limit, and because of that, we know that the light we're seeing now from this galaxy left that galaxy 13.1 billion years ago. The universe is only 13.8 billion years old, so we're seeing a baby picture of the universe. We're seeing the light from that galaxy back when the universe was much younger. And from doing this, we can learn about how the galaxy is making stars, what its chemistry is, how we can go from the way that galaxy looked to the way galaxies look today. It's just an amazingly powerful view of every little tiny red dot that you can see in that image.
Oh, this is so cool. Okay, this is amazing. This is the Carina Nebula.
Yes, so the Carina Nebula is about 7,000 light years from Earth, so absolutely in the backyard compared to the picture we just saw. But what's exciting about this nebula is that it's a place where new stars are being born. And this isn't something that a lot of people know. People don't necessarily realize that stars are born and actually grow old and evolve and then die. And we're looking at the birthplaces of new stars. Now, we've studied the Carina Nebula before, but the detail of James Webb and the fact that this telescope can see, like I said, that light too red for our eyes means that it can really zoom in on the gas and the dust and the building blocks of stars in that nebula. So we can get this beautifully detailed view of how new stars are made.
Wow. So what happens next? What are astronomers going to do with this information?
So we, as astronomers, really get to tackle some of the most fundamental questions that humans ask. We are asking questions, where did the universe come from? Are we alone? What does the future hold? And James Webb is really specifically built to answer these questions. We have a whole slate of observations planned for this new telescope. It has a full schedule. And as we observe, we're going to get to look at things like other really distant galaxies. We're going to get to look at planets around other stars. We're going to get to look at individual stars and exactly how they're born and how they go through their lives. And that's directly going to help us answer these sort of philosophical, fundamental questions. So we're all ready to keep observing with the telescope.
We only have a couple of seconds left, but I have to ask you, James Webb is expected to be out there 20 years before it runs out of gas, so to speak. What do we expect to see from it future?
I think we expect to get our minds blown a lot more. We're going to be looking at planets around other stars. We're going to be looking at how stars evolve. I'm so excited to get my own data from it. I have colleagues getting new data from James Webb right now. So there's a lot more to come.
I could listen to you literally all day talk about this, and we're not going to let you go just yet. If you can stick around for a second, we've got some pretty elementary questions about the universe we just had to ask you.